I don't want to put I don't want to put that label on it, you know. And I've even said, you know, in promoting Forbidden Door, I said, people have asked me, "Are you going to be wrestling on the show?" And I'm like, 95% chance no.
Yeah.
But the reality is that, say if you have a big main event and something happens where somebody gets
Okay.
hurt or something like that, and Tony says, hey Bryan, we really need you for this thing. Is there something you could do? And yeah, there's something I could do. I just have to just be
Be
careful not.
careful. Yeah.
Yeah. And so but I mean, like, one of the things I there's ways to work around it, right?
Yeah.
You know, but you just can't do it all the time.
Later on in the interview, I didn't copy and paste the rest of it, so I'm going to have to do it by memory. I'm sorry. Is that he says that the last 6 months when he was working with John Moxley and Swerve and everyone like that were among the most painful months, most difficult wrestling months he's ever had in his life. That being said, he's surely set for life. His health would be on the line if he tried to wrestle again without the neck surgery and optimum healing time. So why is he not saying he's retired?
Well, because we're still all marks for it and we still want to go out the way we want to go out. I feel like it was very flat the way he went out this past time, right? It wasn't like a big Terry Funk retirement tour or anything like that. The AEW didn't make it special. So maybe he's saying that's not the way I want to go out. Let's go back a few years. You talk about the neck, you talk about the spinal issues. What about the concussions? Remember, he was never going to wrestle again in WWE? And he did the hyperbaric chamber. He did all these different modes of recovery and rehab. And he did get back in the ring. But that's a real thing to worry about too, is the concussions and all the head trauma that he had at that one point. That was why he retired and became SmackDown GM, correct?
Yeah, for a while. I think it took him like 4 or 5 years for WWE to clear him again.
Yeah.
And he was constantly battling to get back into the ring as well. And
well, it sounds like the battle's starting again.
Yeah. You said before, earlier in this show, you said, you know, if you were going to, not that you were going to get back in the ring, but, you know, if you had a sabbatical, it would take you 2 weeks worth of house shows for your body to get, you know, calloused up enough to even get used to hitting the ropes again. I mean, it's got to be 10 times worse for Bryan if he goes back.
I think it is, but then you're that thin line. You get in the ring and take bumps with no crowd, no adrenaline, no energy, just flat and quiet. That hurts 10 times worse. It's almost better to get right back in the ring on some shows to warm up. It's hard to say. I said that about the Cena thing. Wrestle too much or wrestle too little. What's the Goldilocks effect of that, or the Goldilocks zone of doing that? I don't know. All I can say is when he starts, I can interpret this my own way. So when he's talking about, yeah, I could do it, but I have to be careful. But there's times where I can't be careful. Do you see how he was kind of half in and out and back in again? So meaning I'm still going to give it my all, and I'm not going to wrestle like a guy that's being careful. I really do believe that he sees there's an opportunity to go out the right way. But I'm here to tell you, you never really go out the way you want to. Very few people, if any, go out the way they want to. Sting kind of did, but once again, it wasn't that special. It could have been much more special, his last match. So we're never, as wrestlers, feel like we can walk away. This is it. That's my last thing. And then they go, Tony Khan's kind of complicit in this too. Why are you even tempting him with the question? Hey, if we needed you for this, would you be available? Isn't that kind of tempting him a little too much, instead of playing the boss and saying, dude, you have so much more value outside the ring. You don't need to do it.
What would be best for Bryan now then? So if he wants to continue getting in the remaining in the business as an on-screen character, I mean, do you think people would accept him in a non-wrestling role?
They did on SmackDown as GM. He was I think he did an excellent job as GM. And then if you want the special match, he can have that match. Authority figure versus a wrestler. No, but I mean, how old is he now? 40, 45, maybe 50?
So, no, I think he'd be 44, 45.
Doesn't matter. I mean, the ROH His ROH run alone was physical before he even touched NXT or WWE.
Okay, so once again, I know I'm going to re-ask the question, but slightly in a different way. Why do wrestlers always feel like they've always got one more run in them, I guess? I don't know if it's an ego thing, or is it just a money thing, or is it just like they just miss the energy of the crowd kind of thing? What would it be for you specifically that you'd miss the most?
Well, there's a part of me that misses the outlet. If things frustrate me, if things this is just me. If I'm frustrated or things make me mad or do whatever, or they make me annoyed, the wrestling thing is a good therapeutic way to, in a safe way, in a fake way, to get that frustration out, to act like I'm beating somebody up, to act like whatever. It's kind of an outlet for that physicality. And as a man, guys like to beat themselves up and prove themselves. It's the law of the jungle type thing, as Vince McMahon would say. I want to see if I can still be that old line that can still go. It's in all of us. Now, with me, once in a while I get the itch and I say, man, I wonder if I could still run the ropes, take a bump, or I'll go to Devon's school. And I wonder if I could still roll around with the younger guys, not take a ton of bumps and get physical like live rounds, high level, high pace type stuff. But I want to see if I can still do it at 53 years old. But then again, I have the outlet right here, James, in order to kind of pass along the knowledge that I learned, talk about the business, scratch that itch, and also put my energy into production, psychology, booking, smart board segments, all that stuff. And not a whole lot of people have that outlet. So I think that's what it is. I mean, is it a money thing? I don't know. The guy's getting paid the same no matter what. So if somebody turned around and said, like I said before, hey, we need you for Saudi Arabia, here's a few $1 million. My wife, myself, James, Pokey, my cat, everybody's going to be going to Saudi Arabia. Brother.
Why doesn't he just get... why doesn't he just get the neck surgery then? I mean, if he's still on that 95% no, but 5% yes, but if he wants to be available to be called up, why didn't he get the neck surgery then?
Well, where's he going to get cut? If you're getting cut C1, C2, if you're getting the Arn Anderson in the back of the neck, not like I did in the front, it's over for the most part. Kurt Angle got one way back, but it was something just like a Band-Aid fix, to kind of keep him going. But if you get the back of your neck cut, like Arn Anderson, I feel for him because he got that surgery and one of his hands or arms or whatever is not fully functioning. I don't know if it's from the neck injury or the surgery or both, but it did carry an effect from that.
One more thing, then we'll end it with, do you find this like a therapeutic enough, the podcasting? Do you think he would find the same thing? I'm not pitching for me, by the way, to host it, but like, do you think Bryan would get the same kind of outlet or enough of an outlet to sort of curb his addiction, I guess you would say, podcasting, making videos, being creative in the wrestling sphere other than in the ring?
First of all, we're a show, not a podcast. How dare you?
Of course. No, we do a show. He would do a podcast.
You know what would fulfill me even more than this? And this fills up our time, literally, not even figuratively, of doing everything we do. This is a 7-day-a-week job that is a passion project, and I love doing it. I would love to someday possibly get the opportunity to be a commentator. And the reason why I bring that up is Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson would be awesome at commentary for himself and the business. He could be very much like a real sports analyst that goes in there and tells the wrestling side of it. Nigel does a really good job, but he's close to the action. He's in the arena. He feels the energy, and he can relive multiple matches in his mind as he's doing it, and while also educating the fans. That would be the place that I think Bryan Danielson will really, really get that fulfillment. And also the fans would get an immense amount of knowledge, energy, passion, fun. He's fun to listen to too when he talks. So I think he should be made a commentator, even though they have 6 of them right now. Sorry, Taz, I'm not trying to put you out of a job.